It is currently 2:52 on a Sunday, and I would have gotten started a lot earlier, but I was actually talking to my neighbor. Her kids are over here, and she came to pick them up so that she came across the street to get them to come home and eat lunch. And we talked so much that the kids went, ate lunch, came back, and so here I am 52-ish minutes later updating this. What I'm working on today is itemizing or organizing my week. So I'm looking at what I have coming up. I will tell you, this is probably going to be like 2-ish hours of me doing this, if that. I'm really not in a worky mood today. I am on my personal YouTube channel. I'm just uploading like that. I'm holding off on putting out new videos because I want to catch up the podcast uploads so that the podcast can go up on time. So currently what I'm working on that primary YouTube channel is Sundays are for book reviews. Tuesdays I do the advice videos. The advice videos are really what help me to connect to my community. Even though those are not the videos that go viral and do a lot, they do well. It's a great conversation starter, and it's a great way for me to actually help people with free content or community service based content. They say you shouldn't call it free. So I'm not doing a Sunday book review today. I'm actually going to use Sunday, Monday, and Wednesday to catch up the podcast episodes so that by this Friday I can do that. Oh, I was telling you I was scheduled. So everything that happens in my week is Sundays I do book reviews on YouTube. Tuesdays I do the advice video. Wednesdays a new blog goes up on my website. Fridays I do a new podcast episode, but I recently started sending the podcast episodes to YouTube, but they were really behind because I didn't start doing that until I was like halfway in. Like I was maybe on like episode 20 when I started uploading the episodes, and I realized that was really beneficial because people do, it's not a lot of people, but people do listen to the podcast on YouTube and they will comment and engage with it. And I'm guessing that those people were not otherwise subscribed to the podcast in any way. So just what I want to do this week is finish doing that. And I have some homework from when I met with my mentor last, so I have to work on those things. So this week, what I will be doing for that is basically taking my pages my landing pages on my product pages and putting them on the new website. So Friday, I did a little bit of that. It's not the most fun thing to do, honestly, so I kind of dilly-dallied and procrastinated, but I finished one of them yesterday, and I'm guessing that my goal is just by the end of this week to have them all done, but I'm giving myself a lot of grace because, again, it's not something that's particularly fun or interesting, and I don't think it's the most user-friendly experience, but I think it's just because I'm a new user, and like I said, I've been dilly-dallying, and I need to finish it this week because I have a trial, and I think my trial is ending soon, so I need to finish it because if I don't like it, then I need to cancel the trial. But honestly, I think I'm just going to pay them people that money because I've put in a lot of energy and effort that let's just get it done, okay? So I am doing my lead magnet, got my lead magnet set up. I just need to do my email list. I need to segment my email list, pull all the emails from my current website, export them, and then import them to the new system. And then I need to turn on my automation. So if you don't know what any of that means, basically a lead magnet is something that you provide to your audience that they can download, and in exchange for like downloading it or buying it or whatever. My lead magnets are free. In exchange for this thing, you've had, I promise you, everybody watching this video has used a lead magnet before. If you've ever had somebody say, hey, here's 5 steps to do this, here's how I changed my life in 90 days, here's a template for you. Even on this channel, I have 30 days of content, and I have the 12-week year template. Those are things that I give to you for free so that they're for your benefit. But in exchange for them, I get your email, and then now I can talk to you in email, I can market to you, all of those things. So that's a lead magnet. But typically when a person gets a lead magnet, you send them through your funnel, and that funnel is an automated system of marketing to them. So my lead magnet for how I changed my life in 30 days as a content creator might be something to show you how to do the same thing, but then that lead magnet would lead you along to like a program where I teach you one-on-one, or we have group coaching or something. But the benefit of having a funnel is you get the lead magnet and the funnel automatically sends you the emails. So I put the email together and then I put the triggers in the funnel. That way you get them automatically to your inbox. I don't have to manually send an email to somebody every single time they join or every single time they get that lead magnet from me. So working on getting that page together. I haven't turned it on that side because I'm still just using my website. Until I have everything put on that website, the new system, I'm just going to leave everything connected as it is because I don't want to have any glitches or issues with my system. So that's one thing I'm doing for the lead magnet. And then I have 3 product pages that I need to do. But today what I'm going to be focusing on is taking the emails from my current funnel and automating them for the next funnel so that when I do have everything moved over, it just moves very seamlessly. It is now 2:58, so I've been talking for about 6 minutes. And yeah, so that's what I'm about to do. So I'm back. It is 3:02. Not a lot of time has passed, but I went into the website where I'm doing the new setup for everything and I actually realized both the lead magnet and the first product are actually already finished. I don't know how I didn't realize that, but they are already finished. So what I decided to do, so I know this week to catch the episodes up, I have 4 unpublished episodes of my podcast. Not unpublished, they're published, but they're not published to YouTube. So I'm going to set that up. I just did one. I'm going to do another one on tomorrow. I'm going to do one on Wednesday and Thursday. That way when Friday's new episode comes out, I can just start sending it over and it's not out of order. I don't know if I'm explaining it the right way, but I didn't want to start automating new episodes while old episodes hadn't been published. So I'm catching them all up this week. I know that's going to probably tank my analytics, but I don't care. And the reason that I don't care is because I tell y'all everything that I do, I sometimes struggle with this because I get advice and like mentorship from people who are on the business side. But before I'm a business owner, I'm actually a content creator and I'm building community. So not everything for me is about the money grab. So there's sometimes advice that I have to like not take. For instance, I've been instructed to focus on income producing results, which I don't mind doing that, but sometimes it comes at the expense of not focusing on my community in the way that I like to. So I have to kind of put those things up. And when I say it's going to tank my analytics, I mean because I'm only putting out one advice video this week. I'm not putting out a book review. And normally the little videos that I would put out throughout the week are little snippets that tie on to, let me talk about that. So every week I do a YouTube video, two full-length YouTube videos, and one of them is a book review. Once I publish the book review throughout the week, I will put shorts about that book or like segments of me reading that book, 3 minutes or less. And then when I put the short out, I link it to the original video. And that really does help me to grow my channel. But like I said, this is my priority right now. I want all of that stuff to be organized. And I've mentioned before, as a content creator, part of what you need to do is build a portfolio and build like binge-worthy content. And I feel like people don't realize that that is so important. And it's hard at first because you feel like nobody's watching you, but if your content is good, they will. And that's exactly what happened for me. That's how I got monetized. I was like slowly creeping up. I had been building my YouTube channel without any viral videos, and I had gotten to about 2,000 subscribers without ever having a viral video. And then I had a viral video, and that gained me like another 4,000 subscribers, maybe 5,000, because I'm now at like 7,000 or like 69. I think I'm at 7,000 subscribers now. So that viral video did help me to like project 7,000 followers within like 45 days. So it does help to have things like that in place. It does help to have binge-worthy content. And for me, that is actually income producing, because all of my videos have links and I talk about topics that lead people who are interested in working with me closely into my lead magnet, into my product. So that's something that I prioritize. And a lot of times what I do has nothing to do with getting money and more so to do with building community. Because like I said, if I decide to do anything, I know that my audience is coming with me because they're invested in the topics that I cover. So I came back on here to say, like, I've already done what I was about to do. So I think what I'm going to do now is schedule out my emails for both communities. So this community where I'm doing this video and my community of wives and moms. And when I say schedule out my emails, I like to send out like a couple of emails a week. not always salesy, sometimes just uplifting, or like, hey, I think you should see this, or hey, I thought this was cool, and it will relate to you. So if I ever see a really cool video, or if I read a cool article, I will send it to the appropriate group. It's almost like having a group chat, and I highly recommend this. If you have an email list, don't just market to people. Talk to them about stuff that's going to help them to solve their problems without them having to pay anything too. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to sit down and read, because I think that's going to be enough work for one day. It is 3:42. I did edit the video, but it is currently downloading from CapCut. I'm going to show y'all that. And all I'm doing, let me actually show you the screen so that it makes sense. This is a landing page. That's all I'm doing. I'm taking this landing page and I'm entering. There's not going to be a video here. There's going to be a video on the thank you page. So once my followers, the people in this type of community, add their information, their email, you're going to be able to download the lead magnet, and then the lead magnet also comes with a video, the video that I just edited. And so on the thank you page of that lead magnet, you will get a link to download the actual paper copy of the lead magnet and the instructions and the tasks that you're going to do to grow your audience from 0 to 10,000. But then you're also going to get a video. The video is like 45 minutes, but like I said, I killed two birds with one stone, because I just took a video that I had already pre-recorded. So I'm gonna finish this up. I'm just waiting for that video to download from CapCut, and then I need to upload it to YouTube so that I can have a URL to put in that video slot, and then I'll show y'all what that looks like, and that's gonna be the end of my work day. So I actually hear my baby waking up, so I'm gonna wrap up. Let me just show y'all where we are. I have this landing page completed, and the video has been uploaded, and I just went ahead and added it to the page. So this is what it looks like. This is the page that it would take my followers to, or my subscribers to. They would put their email in here, they would download it essentially, but then it would take them to the thank you page. Thank you page, my computer is so dirty. And then this is the thank you page. So they would get this video, and then what I have to add at the bottom is the other product that I would be upselling right here. But that is it. That's my work day today. It is 4:07. Well, actually I worked a little bit longer than an hour, like an hour and 18 minutes, because I started a little bit before 3 o'clock, and I'm ending at 4:07. But I want to do this vlog, and I don't know if this is going to be a weekly thing, but I just want to give a realistic week in my life as a woman who stays home with her children. And I am building a business in a community, but I am not making it the entirety of my life to do so. I am doing it without burning myself out and without stressing myself out. Hello, it is the same day. It's actually 7:19. This does happen sometimes where I'm done working, but then later on I'm like, oh, let me go do this. So I posted on TikTok, and in that TikTok I mentioned something that was not currently available. So I had to get back on here and fix it. The thing that I went on here to fix was accountability group. Let me show y'all. So this is the group thing that I was putting together. This is accountability circle, and everything that I design myself, I just do it in Canva. But long story short, I started talking about this in a video, but I was given an example, and that was the example that I gave. And somebody was like, how did you find that group? I'd love to be a part of it. And I was like, oh, it's a group I created. It's not something that I found. I actually had to make it. And they were like, how do I sign up? So I had to go fix it. It was just one little thing that needed to be tweaked. The one that I had, the form that I had, it was linking old information from like the original group that I did. This is a newer one. Also, since I'm talking about this, you can join this group. I'm going to put a link in the description of this video. It is an accountability circle where you set your own goals. Whatever you're working on, you could be working on fashion, you could be working on being a better mom, you could be working on putting out your website, building your business. But every single week we have homework assignments that are due. You decide what the homework assignment is, but you just have to post it in the sheets. If I go through on the day that the homework is supposed to be due and you don't turn yours in, you will be removed from the group. That's the accountability part. That's the only way that I can kind of nudge you along with being responsible for yourself. And it's really cool because some of the people who have been in the group since the original forming of the group, they have made some progress on their goals, and I love that for them. So I just worked on that. And then something else that I'm about to do, y'all know I'm not a traditional influencer, but I actually want to be on a PR list for a particular company because I love their products. So I'm about to do some digging to see if I can find that email. My baby is, like I said, he just took a bath, so he's kind of here, there, everywhere, playing around while I work. And then when I finish with that, I'm going to be done for the day. It is 11:45 exactly on a Monday. I don't have to do all of these things today, but I feel the need to just get it out of the way. What's going on with the camera, girl? Okay. So what am I doing today? I am automating my funnel emails. So yesterday I talked to y'all about what I had going on. The funnels are good. They're ready to go. They're not ready to go because what I'm going to be doing today is setting up the emails. If you have no idea what that means, we're continuing on the lead magnet thing, where when my people download their lead magnet, what happens next? My system collects their email and then it sends them emails on a timed system, educating them, informing them, building up anticipation for a product. My baby is going crazy, so I need to hurry up. He's not going crazy. He wants me to sit down there and like entertain him and play with him with those toys. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so your funnel is doing that. So instead of me having to manually, I'm still going to manually send out emails every week, but the funnel sends them emails automatically. So you can set that up however you want. When they download the lead magnet, maybe you put a 2-day delay, and after 2 days or after 48 hours, whatever, they get another email introducing who you are and what you have to offer. And then there's another email, and there's like this series of emails that you send out to sell a particular product or to gauge their interest in a particular product. And you still have their email collected, but the funnel, this is probably indicative of me needing to get formal setup for my filming eventually. Maybe that'll be something that I work on next month, because I am using my phone for everything. And I said that as I started to expand, I would invest in those things. And it might be time for that. I'm monetized on YouTube. I am really monetized and have been, and growing a lot quickly on TikTok. So maybe it's time for that. But anyway, we'll get there. So your funnel is basically, it sends an automatic sales loop to these people without you having to do that. And you can just focus on the emails that you're going to send out weekly. So that's why that's so important, because again, this week I'm focusing on getting those automations out the way so that I can dedicate less time to that. Because once your automations are set up, you don't have to do anything unless you want to change the series, or unless something malfunctions in your system and you have to go get it. It will literally continue on and on and on as long as you pay your service fee per month to whoever your provider is. So that's what I'm doing. I'm about to work on the email sequence for 2 particular products. And I also need to create a slideshow, because I have a mastermind that I work with. That's what we're calling it anyway. A very small mastermind where we exchange ideas and we kind of support each other. And I'm presenting tomorrow for a particular topic. I'm going to do a slideshow and I'm going to record that meeting, because that is also going to be content for another product going forward. This is another, I'm learning to work smarter, not harder. I said this yesterday. Anytime I host a meeting, I record it, because I never know whatever topic of expertise I'm speaking on, that can be content for later. And the more you think about it like that, the better off you'll be. I posted a video today and I already know that video is going to be podcast material for this week or next week. At some point, it's going to be podcast material because it's such a good topic. And I just couldn't say everything that I wanted to say in that short video. But I also don't want to do a YouTube video on it. That type of thinking is not going to come immediately to you, but eventually you will get to the point where you start to understand like what's for what. And I talked about before, yes, I want to make money from what I'm doing, but I want to build community, which is why I have yet to niche down on a specific thing. I kind of talk about topics adjacent to what I have a business around, and I build community that way. But then I also can still market to those people, because the things that I talk about may not be directly related to being a wife, but most of the time I'm going to be able to market it to wives. And now that I'm also expanding into servicing single women, it's just all going to tie together really well. So that's what I'm about to work on. The slideshow and the email sequence, that will probably all take me a combined 2 hours. But I anticipate that I'm going to do about 45 minutes to an hour, take a break, and then come back. And I will come back with the time adjustments for that. But that's all I'm working on today. That, and I need to record the rest of my TikTok videos. I recorded 2 and drafted them. It's not a big deal because I have a lot of drafts that I can post at any point, but I need to record 3 more videos for TikTok Shop and draft them just so that I can have them all in the app and post them when I'm ready to post them. So yeah, I anticipate that I'm going to use a full 2 hours today, but just maybe not all at the same time. This is why I like to talk about this, because it does not take a lot of time. It just takes dedicated focus on tasks that actually need to be completed, and taking advantage of working in chunks and getting ahead of your schedule. So earlier when I checked in, I got nothing done. I worked for all of about 7 minutes before the baby started acting up, so I decided to wait until he took his nap. I started working again. Well, I stopped working at 11:52. It was 11:45 when I recorded. Stopped working. Picked up again after I put him down for a nap. I started working at 2:16. It is now 4:09. Let me tell you what I did. I did do 3 different funnel sequences. So not only did I update the funnels, I created them in a way that all of the landing pages are set up, but I also went in and I did an email sequence for each one. That sounds like a lot, but I already had that in my Shopify store. I just had to basically take the time. It's like boring work this week, boring, mundane things, but they need to be done so that I'm not having to manually do this. Because can you imagine every time somebody downloads something or every time somebody buys something from you, you have to manually send them the stuff? Absolutely not. So I spent the last 2-ish hours, 2 hours doing 3 different funnels. So I was able to get all 3 of those done. I was actually hoping to get this slideshow finished too, but I think what I'm gonna do is maybe like take 15-20 minutes this evening when the house is really quiet and do that, because it's for a presentation tomorrow and I don't really need slides, but I like to have them so I'm not rambling. And I also want to have slides because I mentioned to y'all I want to record this meeting because I know it will be content for something later on that I might decide to work on, and we want to work smarter, not harder. It's better to have those things. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. The only thing I do have to come back, even though I created these funnels, tomorrow I'm actually going to have to go and update all of the links, because currently everything is being funneled to my current store, but sometime this week I'm going to make the change, but I don't want to make the change until everything makes sense. So I'm basically going to set everything up, and then at some point this week shut both stores down, test all of the links, and I want to make sure that that's done at the same time. So I may actually end up doing my work a little bit later in the evening tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow I also have a live meeting with the Wives Club, so that's not going to be done tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that Wednesday. But anyway, tomorrow I'm presenting, and that is it. So I'm going to spend like an hour presenting, and then I'm probably going to use the second hour to get ready for a presentation that I have on Wednesday with a class that I'm teaching. That's for TikTok Shop Bootcamp that I'm doing with Squad Up. But yeah, doing the work and getting it done, sometimes it looks very boring. It's not always exciting. I've posted 3 TikTok videos today. I still need to do some shop videos, but I'm not particularly behind, so I'm just going to leave that alone. This week, you hear my baby? This week, I really just want to focus on getting those boring, necessary tasks done. So we're done. I'm going to need another 15-20 minutes later on to do the slideshow, but I'll update y'all to tell you how long it is. It is 8:40 a.m. and my work here is done. It is done. You hear me? I started today at 7 a.m. exactly. I was supposed to start a little bit earlier, but I had some trouble getting out of bed this morning and getting going. I did start at 7, and today I had to finish a slideshow because I have a presentation today, and I wanted to have a slideshow to kind of keep me on task so that I can record it. I mentioned that yesterday. I also had to do a second slideshow for a presentation with my mentees that I have tomorrow, so I just got those out the way. I updated another one of my lead magnets, and I just recorded a whole YouTube video, and now baby is awake. So that went really well. I worked until 8:41, so that's almost 2 hours. It's 1 hour and 40 minutes. I went from 7 a.m. to 8:41, and I was able to record a video. And this is why I also say do content that's sustainable, because my video was 20 minutes, and that's all it took to record it was 20 minutes. Maybe like a few extra minutes before just setting up the camera and getting a microphone and things on. But yeah, so this is a realistic morning for me, and I don't think I'm doing any other work today at all. So that's a wrap. It's 2:22. I've already done more than 2 hours of work today, but an hour and a half of what I did I don't count as work, because I mentioned that I have a mastermind that I meet with. It is a group of 3 of us, and we just, you know, we're girlies, and we kind of help each other to move forward. So I'm not going to count that as work, because that's something that I would have done anyway. I don't charge for that. We just get together, bounce ideas. And today I was teaching them something that I knew, recorded the meeting as I mentioned, and I'm actually, it is, what did I say? It's 2:23. That happened at 11 to 12:30. It was supposed to be 11 to 12, but we be talking. So it was 11 to 12:30. I stopped, had to battle with my baby because he's just been having a rough week, okay? All I'm doing is sending them the homework assignment. Every time we meet, we all kind of have like homework. The presenter of a topic will have homework to give. And it's just to keep us moving along. So I'm about to send them their homework, even though I said it in the presentation. And then I'm about to upload the presentation to a private link and send them the recording. And like I said, now I will also have the recording if I decide, you know, that I want to use that. But I also want to show y'all something. So this is something that I am working on. This is not complete, but this is a landing page for my new website. Will I make it more colorful? I don't know. I'm probably going to leave it like this. But this is the landing page. So once the people, I can't scroll down because there's private information down there. But once the people, there's a section right under this that says enter your email. Once they enter their email, it's going to take them to this page. And this page is where they can click here to access the downloadable file, right? But this file also automatically gets sent to their email. Hello. And then on that same page, they get to watch this video. This video is also on my YouTube, so it's a public video, but I included the video as part of the lead magnet, and I talked to them about that, but I'll kind of tell y'all what that's what the purpose of me doing that is too. And mind you, this is a draft, but I just wanted to show y'all what I'm about to talk to you about. The hair is crazy, but I'm gonna tell y'all what I just told them in the thing that we did. But it's about lead magnets, and as a matter of fact, yeah, I'll make that available as something that y'all can actually use. So I'll put a link for that in the description of this video in post editing, so scratch that. But the reason I put a video on mine is because I learned that typically people will engage with the type of content that they engage with. So all of my lead magnets were like physical, digital, readable material. But people are finding me on videos, so I decided to make a video for each of my lead magnets too. And I just put the video not on the opt-in page, but on the thank you page, because if you put it on an opt-in page, they don't have to give you their email because it's right there. And you really do want their email so that you can network with them, build with them, talk to them, sell to them outside of the sphere of social media where they found you. And so if a person finds you on their blog, of course they don't mind reading your checklist or your PDF print. If a person found you on a video, they probably don't mind reading the thing too, but typically that would mean that they watch video content. So if you give them what they need in the form of where they found you, that is really helpful. And so that's why I brought that up, and I was showing them how I set that up on ClickFunnels. I do use ClickFunnels. ClickFunnels is a little bit more expensive, but I played around with a few, and I think that's the one that I want to go with. If that changes in the future, I will definitely let y'all know. But you can use whatever format you want. The point is, and I guess I'll share this since this is like a vlog right now. The point is to have a lead magnet, something that people are interested in to move you forward. And I'll also tell y'all this, I've said this in a video before, when you name your lead magnet, this is something I learned from Myron Golden, Make More Offers Challenge. Y'all better get on it. I'm gonna put a link for that down below too. When you want people to opt into your offer, you want to pull them out of their pain. So the example that I always give is I went from saying, here's wifey bingo, here's wifey challenge, to telling people the name of the lead magnet is 5 signs you're headed for divorce. Which one are you more likely to download, right? And so they download it, and then the emails get automatically sent. So it's a series of emails, storytelling, giving them the next product that I have available, getting to know me a little bit. And then once that set of automations is done, some of them actually go on to buy for me, some of them don't, but I still have access to them, and I still email them, I still give them helpful tips, I still sell to them, all the things. And so that's the idea of that. And that's basically what I did. So right now it is 2:29. I'm about to upload this video, and that's gonna be that. I don't have any other, like, I already did my video. I uploaded the video because I told y'all it really helps to make sustainable content, y'all. All the stuff that I did this morning in that 2 hours, I just had to upload the video. There was no editing needed. I just uploaded it. The only thing I have to do, you know what, I'm gonna do that right now. I need to make a thumbnail for that video. And I only did that video today because I'm a little behind. Typically I do my videos ahead of schedule and they're already scheduled. I'm scheduling this one for the day of. So I did about 2.5 hours of work today, and I'm about to go enjoy myself. Today I'm reminded of why I like to wake up earlier. I got started working at about 9:20, and then I want to say I wish I would have checked the exact time. I know I worked for about 30 to 40 minutes before I was interrupted. So what I wanted to do today, I have a workflow link that I need to finish. Remember, I told you I was moving everything over to a new website. And I'm actually writing a blog. So let me say, I wanted to do the workflow. I wanted to write 3 blog posts because I want to get ahead so that I can put my focus on something else. I'm about to take a really big pivot in what I'm doing in my personal brand. And then I wanted to record. I have 3 podcast topics that I want to record. And I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. Again, I'm very sustainable. Until I get to the point where I feel like I need to do something significantly different, I just use my phone to do everything. So recording 3 podcast episodes sounds like a lot, but it just takes as long as it takes me to actually talk through the topic. There's no editing. I just record it and then I post it and I schedule it. So recording 3 podcast topics could take me like an hour and a half. Could take longer, could take less time, depending on how long the actual episodes are. Typically my episodes are like 20 minutes or less, but sometimes they do get a little lengthy. So 3 podcast episodes might be less than an hour for me to record. I already have the topics, and once I have the topic, I don't have a script. I just expand or talk freely about that topic until I am done, and then I end the episode. Again, very sustainable. And I'm also trying to create, or what my goal is with my brand, is to create an audience that is not impatient, create an audience that can go through long form content and appreciate perspective and not just like be very antsy for me to complete. So I don't cater to short form audiences. Even on TikTok, when I make shorter videos, if I want to talk longer, I'll talk longer. That's gonna be your problem if you can't listen that long. But anyway, I started, let me show y'all something. This toy is the reason that I was able to get so much done this morning. I have a Velcro baby and he likes to be on me. So the 20 to 30 minutes that I was working this morning uninterrupted, it was because of that toy. And I ended up having to stop what I was doing because I was anticipating what I need to do today. So today is the first day of my Squad Up mentorship where I'm teaching people how to make money on TikTok. I have a meeting in less than an hour. So I should have gotten up earlier, but you know, I have a meeting in less than an hour, so my 2-hour workday is going to be kind of scattered. I spent about 30 minutes. I still have a good hour and a half of time to work. Really 30 minutes, because an hour of my time to work is going to be spent in that meeting. That meeting I'm counting because that is a paid meeting. That is me showing up for work. So I'm going to do that meeting. And then I'm probably going to end up recording a podcast tomorrow because, to be honest with you, the things that I have left for the week, I went ham earlier this week. So it's looking like it's going to be a very light today, tomorrow, and Friday. I may even take Friday off from formal work. I'm obviously going to post my short form content, which is nothing to me at this point. You know what? I need to start counting that. But it takes me, y'all, it takes me so little time to put my videos together that I don't even count it. But yeah, so that's what I have today. I want to record a couple episodes of the podcast. I'm probably going to do that this evening when everything quiets down. But right now, I'm going to try to crank out another blog post before I get started. So really, what are we looking at? I worked for 30 minutes. I'm probably going to work for another 30 minutes right now to get this blog done. And then I'm going to work for an hour on that call. That's 2 hours. If I end up recording a podcast, I'm going to be at like 3 hours of work today. But I'll update y'all to let you know what that looks like. I very much might do those podcast episodes tomorrow because they're not urgent. They're not for this week. They're just to get me ahead of schedule. And nothing else on this list for this week has any sense of urgency. So yeah, I may wrap it up after this meeting. I'm going to do this blog until the meeting starts. And then I'm going to probably do the meeting and just call it a rest for the day and then record the podcast tomorrow and work on the rest of those things. So I did indeed finish the second blog post before I started my meeting. Meeting went so well. It went so well. I'm so excited about my mentees. I think that they're going to do great in this program. I'm going to put a link to the next session of this program because I realized I did not do like a proper job telling y'all about it on this channel. Which I rarely do because I'm more so documenting my experience here, but I am going to put that in the links of the coming videos. This video going forward, I will put a link so that if you want to learn how to make money on TikTok Shop from me directly, you can join that. So that meeting went well. I did finish. So it was 9:20. That was about an hour of work earlier, an hour of work in the actual meeting. I do my slideshows ahead of time. I did that yesterday during my session. And so baby is napping And I'm gonna actually see, because I'm really cold and I just feel like relaxing, but I also feel like I'm in the mood to talk. So I may go ahead, or I'm gonna try to right now while he's napping, record some podcast episodes. And if I can get through them and they sound fine, I'll go ahead and go forward with it. But I'm gonna do a test if it's picking up, because my girls, also the neighbors, are here. And they're kind of playing around. I don't know how good this microphone is of like canceling out that noise. So I have to take that into consideration too. If for any reason I have to get up out of this spot to record the podcast, it's not going to happen today. I have all of my TikTok videos are already filmed. I just went and I played around with editing one of them. So all I have to do is log onto the app every couple of hours and post. And that'll be it. The other thing that I'm working on this week, we had the mastermind that I told y'all about earlier this week. One of the ladies in the mastermind has been given gems about like figuring out how to do, oh my gosh, what's it called? How to do brand collaborations, brand deals, how to do brand deals. And so I don't necessarily want to get into doing a whole bunch of brand deals, but there are a handful of brands that I would absolutely love to work with and potentially have like ongoing campaigns with. So I'm going to be shifting my content in a way where it's still sustainable, but that I actually showcase my ability to work with those particular brands. So I'm still going to be making the same type of content. I'm just going to shift up the style and the way that I present my content. It's still going to be very easy to do. But again, I'm going to put all of that stuff into consideration because I know that that's what I want to do. So it is now Wednesday. It definitely feels like Friday or something. I feel like I've been doing so much. So it's Wednesday. I will come back on here and let you know if I actually recorded those podcast episodes. If I don't, it's just going to go into tomorrow, because as I'm looking at this, like I said, I think I'm pretty much going to be finished with work this week by today or tomorrow. So I did record the podcast episode, but I took a nap. I'm actually recording this part without a microphone. It is now 12:35, and I remembered, this is something extra. I remembered I had an email that in my head I responded to, because I was actually really excited about the email, but I just responded to it. That took about 5 minutes to craft what I wanted to say. And then I actually have now, since it is technically Thursday morning, I want to look ahead at what I have tomorrow and Friday and just kind of strategize on how to, not strategize, I'm not strategizing on how to get anything done, but I put it down so that I can see it and I can be realistic about what this weekend is going to look like. And I also want to go ahead and update. I mentioned the thing earlier in this video, the accountability group homework is due on Fridays. I'm also included in homework. I can't be telling y'all to turn in homework and I'm not turning in my homework. So I'm about to go turn in my homework thus far to see where I am with my progress, update my goals. And this is a requirement for everyone. Literally, if you don't do your homework, you get kicked out the group. So there's that. But for the rest of this week, I need to update my rate sheet with my impressions. Not going to take very long. I need to, tomorrow, I'm going to record all of my TikTok shop videos for next week. I need to get 2 more blog posts out. I would like to get 2 more blog posts out. And then tomorrow, technically tomorrow, Friday, yes. I would like to record my book review video for Sunday, although I do have until Saturday to do that, but I'd like to do it tomorrow. It'd be nice to get a head start on my advice video for next week as well. And then there's a few side tasks. I had a meeting with my mentor about 2 weeks ago, and something she told me to do. This is a gem for people. I emailed her my goals that we set for this meeting, and then I set like an automated email. I scheduled an email to myself 2 weeks after our meeting, and then another one like right before our next meeting. And so I got that email today, and I was looking it over, and I was like, okay, what have I done? What have I not done? So I wrote down the few things that I still have to do before our next meeting, which is an excellent idea to keep yourself on track so you don't lose sight of things. So I put all of those things down, and I am going to go ahead and end today. I feel like I'm still awake. If I can't go to sleep, I'm just going to read. I'm not going to do any more work. But yeah, that's what it's looking like. I'm kind of enjoying this. I feel like it's going to be a really long vlog, but I feel like it also might help somebody, so I'm willing to do it. Good morning. It is 10:13. I estimate that the things that I'm sitting at this desk to do, well, really everything, I estimate that I will be done in 2 hours or less. So today what I need to do is update my rate sheet that is going to be for brand collabs that I want to start moving into. I will not be leaning on the side of reaching out to a lot of brands. I'm actually pretty selective about the brands that I do want to work with. And so I'm pretty much going to be taking the approach of, if brands reach out to me and they align with what I have going on and I can benefit from their products, I will work with them. But it's a few brands that I have in mind that I would like to work with, and I have decided that if I do not get if I'm not able to work with those brands, I'm not going to be fully pursuing brand sponsorships, partnerships. That's like more of a, would the money be great to have at the level that I am and the amount that I know that I could charge for these things? Absolutely. But it's more of a concern with consumerism. I don't like having a bunch of stuff, which I'm going to talk to y'all about that in a minute as well, because I also have my rate sheet, TikTok shop videos that I need to do. And then I have 2 more blog posts that are on my mind, and I would like to go ahead and get them out before the information evaporates. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, updating my rate sheet, working on some TikTok shop videos. I'm going to film about 20 videos, and then 2 more blog posts. Now, the reason that I say, because if you think about it, if you're doing TikTok shop, you can do really well with brand deals, especially if you've gotten really good at it. And so I know that I would be able to sell and make money for brands, and I'm actually going to pitch that to the brands that I actually want to work with. But the reason that I don't want to work with a whole bunch of brands is because I just don't want to start accumulating a bunch of stuff that I don't need. I'm gonna end up giving it away. It's gonna end up in the trash. So I just want to really be realistic about what I'm doing. There are a couple of brands that I would love to be on their PR list when they send like gifted things. Basically with a gifted PR, well, when you're in a situation where you're on a PR list and they automatically mail you these things quarterly or whatever, you don't have to post those things if you don't want to. But there are some brands that I would be happy to post about, and I would like to not have the burden of having to post a formal post or like having to do a very structured thing, just kind of accumulated into my lifestyle. That brings me to TikTok shop. I love TikTok shop because you are basically a brand rep, but there's no contracts. You just get commission. And I know that people like to have their money up front, but I can tell you I've earned thousands of dollars. Like, I've earned my share of brand sponsorship money through TikTok shop, and I love that because I only have to promote products that I absolutely love. There's no contract. It's just, this is the product, I liked it, I'm gonna talk about it, and whenever I post about it, I make sales, I get my commission. I love that because I'm in charge of how much I make. There's no cap. Well, I'm in charge indirectly because the more I post about it, talk about it, the better my rate is, right? So the products I'm going to be talking about this week, or the ones that I'm filming, I do a lot of books and like media type of material. I am going to be doing another ad for my scrubber mop. I'm going to be doing one for my steam mop. I am going to be doing one from the sink toy that I got for my baby. Those are like physical products that you use. The rest of them, including my art book is downstairs, so I can't show y'all that. I'm probably going to do some outfits too here and there, but I like to know what I'm about to film, because the reason I'm going to do my steam mop and my scrubber mop is because I'm actually cleaning floors today in my house. So I'm just going to go ahead and take that process and record it. These are what I'm going to be talking about. Oh, I just broke my nail, girl. I'm going to be doing emotional intelligence habits. I treat this book like textbook material. I frequently go back to it. This one and The Next Conversation by Jefferson Fisher, I think that they are really good. I don't think that it is sufficient to just pass through this book one time. I think, and I'm not equating this to the Bible at all, but in the way that I read the Bible regularly, particularly the book of Proverbs, to be immersed in that wisdom, there are certain things in here that I need to be reminded of, and I know that they will stick when I continue to revisit them. And so because that's something that I'm doing anyway, I'm like, hey, let's just go ahead and share some of these segments with my audience. This book did really well for me on TikTok shop. The seller, when I first started selling this book, between 2 sellers, one of them for sure, I've sold 1,000 copies of this book for one seller. And I know that because when I first started buying the book from them, when I first started marketing the book for them, there was no sales. And when I looked recently, they had like 978. So I've sold almost 1,000 copies for them. But it's it's 3 sellers that I use for this book, and it depends on who has the lowest price that I end up marketing it. I know that doesn't sound good for me because lower price sometimes also means that there's a pay cut, but I think sometimes these sellers will fluctuate their prices, and I think $40 for this book is ridiculous, considering that it's actually a book that's like $25 from a bookstore. So charging people $40 is diabolical. So sometimes I will fluctuate between the sellers, but I've sold more than 1,000 copies of the book because I know with that one seller it's 900 something. This book is really cool. It's basically teaching you the standard and the way that Amish people live and how they do certain things. Last time I did this, I made cough drops. There's a couple of things that I want to talk about and read from, so I'm going to do that. This book is beautiful. Dear Daughter, it's a memory book, kind of like a baby book, but I have to show y'all the page that doesn't have any pictures in it of my child. I'll show y'all the last page that I was working on. This is the last one that I did for this book, and I was basically talking about how I was answering her end of year questions because her birthday is coming up this month. So I've been working backwards. This book is not filled. I got it at the time that she was 9. I got it this past year. And so I'm working to put all of the information in the previous years. It's so much. But I would love to continue this practice going forward and just filling this book out on her behalf. I have another one for my daughter, and I'm getting some for the boys. This book, I'm going to do this as well. I really don't have to show y'all all of this, but this is like a scrapbook. Comes in a really cute box. With the scrapbook, every time I print pictures, I just sit down, update it, and talk about the book. It also does really well. And then this book is a guide to holistic wellness. I want to talk today about psoriasis and eczema, and then there's probably some other ones that I want to pull from here. So I know I'm going to film from these particular pieces of material. I just have to sit and pull out what I want to film. That for sure is going to take about an hour of my time, maybe a little bit more. I don't mind that because once I have like 20 some odd videos, that's like a week or 2 weeks worth of videos, depending on how frequently I post shop videos in the coming week. I am cranking up how many shop videos I post because I want to be an example for my mentees who I have posting a lot. So I want to make sure that they see it as well. Obviously, TikTok shop is not something that I always prioritize because it's not necessarily something that I do because I want to make the money. Yes, it's great, right? But I also share products that I use in real time. And so sometimes I'm just not using the products and I don't feel the need to make a video. Also, I focus on other aspects of my business, but I did say that going forward, I want to make sure that I am prioritizing getting my 20 videos out per week. So I will be doing that today as well. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with the rate sheet. I'm going to then do the blog post, and then I'm going to do the TikTok shop videos last because I also want to get some other filming for my regular TikToks out the way. So I'm probably going to just do all of that in one sitting. That I am going to tell y'all how long it took me. So this has nothing to do with this vlog, but I think that it'll be helpful for the people watching because some of y'all might be interested in this. I went on TikTok just a minute ago. I'm supposed to be doing my blogs, but I went to go check something and I saw that I had coupons. The story of the coupons, which I've mentioned before, I get so many TikTok shop coupons, especially when I'm getting a whole lot of sales. There have been times where I get like 3 packages in 1 week valued at $200. So I got like $200 worth of coupons. Now this is a $50 coupon that I just saw. And normally I've just started leaving the coupons alone because there's literally nothing else that I need. I have used these coupons to get stuff for my house, stuff for my children, clothes for my children, shoes for my children, like things that I could use, toys for my children, like toys for the baby rather, even clothes for the baby, like housewares. I've gotten a lot of things. I've got that Swiffer mop, not a Swiffer mop, it's a steam mop, a scrubber mop. Like I have a lot of things that I've gotten based on coupons. So eventually it gets to a point like there is nothing else that I need. I don't want anything else. Please keep your coupons. But today I actually saw a couple things. One, there's a piece of podcast equipment that I normally probably wouldn't pay for. I will probably be buying podcast equipment anyway soon, but since this one is free, I think I'm just going to go ahead and use the coupon to get that. And then I'm going to check something else. One of the things that I encourage people to do, and I'm going to just do a screen record of this. One of the things that I encourage people to do is to, when you're picking, if this is a conversation for you, when you're picking what you're going to do for TikTok shop, pay attention to what it is that you're getting and pay attention to how much commission you're going to get for the item, because sometimes the commission is like 25 cents, right? Like, who, you know how many of these things you're gonna have to sell to actually make some money off of that? And I mean, it's fine if you really like the product, but even if you really like the product, sometimes you just want to be sensible and cover yourself, because 25 cents for a commission is terrible. You have to sell 4 of them just to get $1. So imagine how many you have to sell to get a decent amount of money, right? So keep that in mind. That's one of the things that I also consider when I look at it. But I just wanted to give y'all that little update before I continue working. I maybe got like 10 minutes into work before I had to pause and do mom stuff. So I'm gonna take a break, maybe put him down for a nap, and come back to work. So I had to stop working earlier. I went from 10:23 until 11, and then I picked up right after 1 o'clock. It's now 1:42. And I did finish everything except the added detail of the rate sheet. There was something else that I need to add there. But I'm gonna end this vlog here because I think y'all get the idea of like going through the thing and how I'm getting things done. Next week I will do another vlog. It will look a little bit different than this one because this one was heavily focused on the first week of the month and how I move throughout that. Next week will be a little bit different, and maybe I'll make this a weekly thing, but I'm gonna go ahead and stop the vlog here. Hopefully this gave y'all some insight. Hopefully it helps you to understand how you can fit this into your schedule. Even if you're working full time, you can really get a lot done with just an hour or 2 per day. And I encourage y'all to just do what you can, you know? So I'm gonna work a little bit tomorrow. I'm gonna rest for the Sabbath this month. This lunar cycle is Friday to Saturday, and then I'm gonna pick back up on Sunday. So next week's vlog will go again from Sunday until Friday. Y'all have a good one. I'll see y'all soon.